Mary Lee, welcome to my channel. This is my very first video, so please bear with me. I'm not much of a videographer or anything, but for my first video I wanted to share with you our homeschool room and give you a bit of a tour. I picked this first because I personally love watching everybody else's homeschool room tours. I like seeing the storage ideas and the fun things that people do with their spaces. I really enjoy it, so I thought, why not share ours? Of course, you don't need a specific room dedicated to homeschooling. If you want to homeschool, you can homeschool from your kitchen table, outside on the trampoline. I'm sure you hear this with pretty much every video that you've watched so far for this kind of thing. But you know, it needs to be stressed that you don't actually need a homeschool room or a specific space. You know, whatever suits your family, that's fine. The first couple of years that we were homeschooling our first child, we didn't have a room. We did have like a little table that our daughter would like to work at, and that was kind of just in a corner somewhere, and that was fine. And she sometimes used it, she sometimes didn't, but we didn't have a dedicated space for everything. The room that we have really suits us. Now, when I show you, you're probably going to go, whoa, that's a big room. And it is, it's very big. My husband added it onto our home as we started to have more children. We live on an acreage in WA, a small acreage, and the house is a country home that it's certainly big enough, but you know, it's nice to have this space that he's added on. And now, when you see the room, it's not just a homeschool room. So it has most of our homeschool supplies in it. It's where we keep everything. It also has a desk for the kids to work out with me. And we have a reading nook, which I'm actually in at the moment, and I'll show you properly. But we also have in here, okay, so like all of our toys. There are no toys anywhere else in the house at all. So this is basically also the playroom, and it is also it's my office. So there's like a corner where I have my desk and my computer and everything, because I run a business from home, and that's where I do all my admin and everything like that. So it is also a home office as well. And it's all in one big open space. So it actually is a multifunctional room. So it's not just one giant room for homeschooling, but it works really well for us for various reasons. So I'm going to try, as I go around and open drawers and everything like that, I'm going to try and show you everything. Well, not everything, but everything that I think might be of interest to you, might be relevant, might be helpful. If I showed you every single little item in every single drawer, then this video would be like 2 hours long. So if I skip over something, it's either because, I don't know, I don't think it's relevant to you, or I can't remember where I got it from, that's why I've not said it, or something like that. But if you see something and you think, oh, I want to know where that's from, or oh, how did you do that, or whatever, then just leave a comment below and ask me any questions that you have. But I'm going to try and be, you know, thorough enough, because I know that when I watch homeschool room tours, I'm pretty, like, I want to know everything. So I hope you enjoy this homeschool room tour, and let's get started. Okay, so this is the room from our front door, I suppose you could say. And I will walk you around, but I'm just giving you a bit of a rotation. And my favorite in this entire room is most definitely this guy. He's so lovely. He's 3 weeks old, and he is our newest little bubba. He's sleeping nicely for me right now, so let's see how long that lasts. Like I said, this room is not just for homeschooling, it is also for many other things. So over here is my work desk. The stuff that in front is not my stuff, but this desk and everything behind it is all for my work, including behind those curtains. That's the desk we use sometimes for homeschooling. In here, this little sort of opening is our library room, reading nook kind of thing, which I'll show you as well. This has like craft supplies and homeschool stuff in it. These are full of toys and things, like it is basically our toy room as well. And I'll show you all that in a minute. This leads into the rest of our house and is like a little mud room. And these are our class pets. and they are very chatty at the moment, so hopefully you can hear me over them okay. And this is their Lego table, which is a big mess at the moment, but I didn't clean it because it's their big creative mess, and they're halfway through making like different things, and I'm not going to make them tidy it up while they're in the middle of something. So and then over here we have some drawers. So I'm going to start over here in the corner because it's like right next to the door, and then I'm going to work my way around the room. So I'm trying to remember where everything's from and all that kind of thing. So this drawer set we got from IKEA when they were having a 40% off sale. Because it's not a cheap system. I think it's called Stuva, S-T-U-V-A. But when it's 40% off, it's affordable. So we got that, and we got those big ones that I just showed you over there. So behind here, we just keep some big items that the kids do play with, but are too big to sort of, you can't put them in a box, which are the horses. I think there's like a pram in there as well. And then my husband's just put a box to go into recycling there as well, so that's there at the moment. So I do label a lot of my things, like this says Play-Doh. It's not for me, I know where everything is, but it's for like hubby or anyone who comes over who wants to pull out something, they know what's in each drawer. So this drawer is dedicated to all our Play-Doh stuff. We got plenty of it because the kids all love Play-Doh. There's some Play-Doh in there, and like nature items for their nature play or their small worlds. That's like a log thing, and there's sticks and honky nuts and pine cones and all that kind of thing in there. And usually we've got quite a lot of homemade Play-Doh in there, but that's all gone dry and I have to make some more. The next drawer is shelf activities. So this is stuff that we only use on the activity shelves, and I rotate. So, you know, threading beads, and this is like a puzzle that you stick, what do you call them? Little squares into. You've got to put the right colour in to make the pattern, and there's all different patterns you can do. This is like a puzzle for musical instruments with the alphabet. This has things that you can stack. That's like our Melissa and Doug Latches board, and there's a whole lot of different things in here. There's some Cuisinart rods back there. Yeah, all different kinds of hands-on items for the shelves for my really little children. And this is like a sensory tub ready to go that I just pour into the Kmart sensory tray. It's got like colourful rocks in it they got to sort out and sift through the rice. Yeah, stuff like that. So all of these things, most of it is either from Kmart, like these threading beads, Kmart, or from the second-hand stores. So this pretty much, like most of it, is from like the Salvos or something like that. For Melissa and Doug, I think you can get them from Toys R Us. That was a gift that someone bought for us. That was nice. Now, when I talk about shelf activities, I am talking about that shelf over there, which I will show you briefly in a minute. And down here are 2 tubs full of puzzles. So, yep, not much to see, just a stack of puzzles. This big puzzle is really cool, which there's like an Australian map puzzle and a world map puzzle with animals and landmarks and stuff. If you're looking at finding something like this, you can get them from Games World. They're pretty expensive at Games World, or you can wait for Aldi to sell them for like half the price. And then some more puzzles down here, which has our puzzle mat, so you can like start a puzzle and then roll it up. And then we also, my second son really loved puzzles, so we had so many puzzles, and I take them out of their boxes and put them into things like this so that they I can fit way more into a tub. The boxes are huge, you know. If you're trying to find something to store these sort of wooden puzzles in, these are perfect. They're little zip-up plastic pouches. As you can see, nothing falls out, and it's like having them filed, so you can just flip through, or your kids can flip through and pick one out. And these come in packs of, I think it's packs of 3. I'm not sure. I can't remember how many. Quite cheaply, I think about $2 or $3 or something, from the Reject Shop is where I got them, but I'm sure you can get them at other places if the Reject Shop don't sell them anymore. But yeah, we got 2 huge tubs of puzzles because we had one puzzle obsessed boy, and we have 2 other sons. I have had 2 other sons after him that may also really enjoy them, so I'm not getting rid of them yet, just in case. And then up here on the top are just certain Lego creations that they make that they don't want their 3-year-old brother to get into. So I tell them anything on this desk could get destroyed because he can reach it. If they want to walk away, they need to put it up there and then he won't touch them. So that's reserved for that. And then under here, and the reason we have so much, like this is, a whole table for Lego, is because they have a lot of it and they love it and they use it every day, and it's probably the most played with item in the entire house that they have. So down here we have another IKEA unit. I'm trying to remember what these are called. I'm pretty sure everybody's seen them anyway and you know what they are, but can't remember. If I remember, I'll put it in the links below, but it's not hard to find it at IKEA. Anyway, so we got this also with the 40% off sale a while ago, and all this is yet to be sorted stuff. And this, my kids and hubby went through and color coordinated every single cover. Crazy. I would not bother doing this, but they wanted to and they did, and look at that. Well done, awesome. And actually is really satisfying to look at. Now that they have done it, like I love that they've done it. So that's from IKEA, and because we don't pull stickers off like anything, I can actually tell you what that is. It is a NLE. I don't know. Well, there's the code if you want to screenshot it. And then you can fit stuff underneath as well. They color coordinated all the Lego, and when they put it away, they actually do put it in the right boxes. And this is just the ones that they're currently using. And we also store our little Lego men in here, so they're separate, so that they're not getting lost in everything else. Okay, so the chairs. So the table and the legs are also from IKEA, and that's like an old study chair with the back taken off, and that is an old teacher's chair that I got that just came with the school table that I got. It's really, really, really old. So that's there. Usually that's over at our table, but there's chairs everywhere in here and none of them match. So I eventually want to get some little hairdressing stools, so I can put 3. They'll kind of look like that, but they're smaller, and they can go, they got much better hydraulics. Is that the correct term? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I want to eventually get 3 hairdressing stools for here, so it all matches, but I haven't done that yet. Here are our class pets, I suppose. And they don't like me very much, so I'm just going to stay over here so they don't freak out. But you've got Sweet Pea and Kiki, and they're very happy in there as long as I don't come too close, okay? And down here is, they are new, by the way, so like they've only been with us a few weeks and they're still getting used to us. I'm not actually terrible with birds. And then we just keep bird-related items in here. And down here is a doll's house and a doll's pram. It's kind of just wedged in there because I have 3 boys and 1 girl, and my girl is a tomboy, so that dollhouse doesn't really get used except for when we have guests over and there are little girls. They love playing with it. That's why I've still kept it, because they like to play with it. And then just the pram is there as well. So I better not focus too much on toys because it is supposed to be a homeschool room tour, but sorry. And this little guy is the latest addition to our family, and he is just so beautiful. Look at him sleeping so soundly. Aww. And over here we have so like little poufo things to put our feet on. Sometimes the kids sit on them instead of chairs when we read and stuff. Our whole house has like a mix of Balinese, Middle Eastern, sort of Morocco kind of look, and that goes with the rest of our house and stuff. So you kind of find things like that just planted everywhere. This is one of my boys' wagons, which he is currently just, I don't know, it's just there. It doesn't usually go there, but that's where it is today. This is our little shelving. So the activity shelves that I showed you, the drawer with activities in it, that's the stuff that gets rotated here. And this is, I guess, our kind of Montessori inspired shelving for our younger children. Not that it is Montessori because I'm using plastic stuff and, they have their rules and I don't follow them. So it's kind of Montessori inspired. But yeah, so here, these are kind of all just learning hands-on things for my little ones. And we've got this is really cute. This is a little bowling set. I got it from the thrift store. It's a wooden one. These are cheap Kmart version of Magna tiles, and mean, they're okay. You get what you pay for. They're definitely not magnetile quality at all. But I just wanted to buy these and see if my kids liked them before I spent money on the proper thing. And they're not really into them that much. So, although that might be because these are not as good. So, I don't know. Anyway, these are like the color matching games. This set came from AliExpress, and what else have we got? So this is like another, I don't know what these are called, I'm sorry, I've got no idea, but you can get them from a lot of different places, kids shops, and you know, there's a lot of places you can get them. So yeah, and this is a fishing set. I think there's 2 sets in there. One is from Kmart and the other one was a gift. And then we've got these also from Kmart. They got little animals on them. They were like $5 for a box of animals, and then I just put them in this. And then we have a basket of animals. We have way more animals than this, but I just, because they're in a big black box like that, I just rotate the animals into here. And then we've got our little sheet of fake grass, which also came from AliExpress. And sorry, I was just waving at someone outside. Sorry if the phone went crazy. And then these are really cool. Again, I've just noticed how much stuff I bought off AliExpress for these shelves as I'm saying it. But these are really great. The kids love these probably more than anything else I've bought from that website. I think it's AliExpress, not Ali, but oh well, Aussie. Yeah, they're like, I don't even know what they're called again. So I might, if anyone wants to know, I'll have to put it in the description for you. But oh, look at that, everything's yellow. And oh, look at that, everything's pink. You get it. Blue and green as well. So yeah, these are great for so many different things. You know, color recognition, shape recognition. It's harder to build with these because, you know, round things and stacking, and I don't know, it's just more of a challenge to build something with these than it is normal bricks. So that's kind of fun. There's just so many different things you can do with this. I might have to do an entirely different video just on using these because they're great. And then these are like the Montessori stacking thingies. I don't know what they're called either, so again, I'll have to link it if you want to know. Just let me know in the comments. Got them from AliExpress as well. And then this is a little Melissa and Doug dinosaur puzzle, and I just switch out the puzzles and put one down every couple of days or every week, a different one. This was a gift as well, but I think again it's from Toys R Us. I think this is from Kmart, but you can get these pretty much anywhere. And then this is our Grimm's Rainbow, which we absolutely love, and I bought this online because there were no stores in Perth that sold them, so I had to buy it online. And it was actually a gift, like a joint gift from somebody. So I don't know what website they ended up getting it from. I just sent them a few links. And there's my daughter's dumbbells. She's only 9, but she's, I don't know, she's currently into things like dumbbells and fitness. So there's them. They're there because they're very heavy and I didn't want them up high and then, you know, drop it on someone's foot. So they're just there. And she uses those for fun. It's not my idea of fun, but cool. And then there's all this, and I'm not going to show you in every drawer because, you know, they're toys, but we've got stuff like the Marble Run and Duplo for the younger kids, and baby dolls and soldiers and figures and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Cars, dinner sets, like kitchen sets, things like that. It's all in there, and the animals. So every toy we have is in this room, and most of them are in these boxes. So I know it looks like a lot, and it probably is, but, you know, we homeschool, we're on an acreage, we're not near a lot of things. They're home all day, and yeah, it seems like a lot, but they do play with all of it, every last bit of it. So I am quite happy to have it, and I'm just not a minimalist, I guess. And it's very, very easy to take care of and put away. Kids know where all goes because I've got little pictures. Some of them are missing because I'm redoing them, but usually there's a picture on every single box, and the kids know how to pack it up. So it's no problem. It's very easy to keep clean, and that's why I'm happy to keep it all. And and this is, okay, so the rug came from, I think Rugs A Million, maybe. I did not get it online. I don't get stuff like this online. It's too big, too much for postage. Got it ages ago anyway, so you wouldn't be able to probably get this one. This little table is $15 from Kmart with the 2 chairs. It gets really, really trashed, and that's okay, because if it starts to fall apart, then I can just get another one because it was very cheap. But this one has lasted us probably about 4 years now, or 3 years, so that's very good. And
I remember buying this.
Hi, it's one of my others. Hello. She's not well today, so she's having a break and a rest. And then we've got like a game here that I got from the Salvos, which has all letters on it, and you stack them up and make words. And then there's the dominoes, the Woolworths dominoes from ages ago, Tonka truck that doesn't fit in any of these boxes, kinetic sand, and I don't even know what this is. Yeah, I know what it is, but I don't know how to explain it. It's those. It's called Kiko School, and it kind of looks like Magnetiles, but it's not magnetic. And I got it from the Salvos as well. So when I looked it up online, it was like, it looks to me as though it's from overseas, some kind of European thing. So you can't actually get it here, and it's really expensive. So I'm glad I got it from the Salvos. And then up here is all stuff. It's up high so that the kids can't really reach it because it's not toys. This is all mostly homeschool related items. So going through, I have quite a few clipboards because the kids use them when we're on the move or when we're outside doing nature walks or whatever. Sorry about the focus, I'm not very good with this. But these are just from news agencies and things like that. I only use these as like extras, so I barely use them because I just rip out pages for the younger ones to fill in here and there while they're waiting for something, or I don't know. They're kind of just there as extras. They're not a part of our curriculum, and they're not something that I use very often, but they're there for when I need them. What's this? These, that's the same kind of thing. I got from the recycle centre actually, but they're like a government resource. All of this stuff, they came from the second-hand store. That's a mapping book that we're yet to use. You know, things like that. This is a oh boy, a scissor skills pack. It's actually really cool. I got this from Kmart and it was $5, and it was really, really good for my little ones, especially my son who was struggling with using scissors. He really enjoyed, especially using the pizza one. Still got a couple in there. But yeah, it's really good for kids to practice cutting with, so you can cut through the veggies and, you know, cut out matching game cards and cut out the spots for the little, whatever that is, the giraffe, all that kind of thing. So yeah, that's really good. We really liked that and still use it. And then this is just my daughter's notebook. That is like a tell the time wipe clean thing, and was from Wooldridge's before they shut down. But you can get them from any educational store. You can write on and then wipe off. And then this here is like a little mat we got from Scholastic when we bought some books off of them. This is again like a dry erase board with writing lines for younger kids, again from Wooldridge's before they shut down. It's a drawing book my hubby had since school, and that's actually mine. I don't know why that's there. And that is a dry erase board that needs some tender loving care. That was from Target. I think it's a Crayola brand one, and it came with its own textures and stuff. Osborne's First Book of Nature. We use this for our nature walks and nature studies a lot, so that's why that's there. And then 501 Science Experiments. We actually got this from SciTech, but you can actually get them very often, this same book. Sometimes it's 301, other times it's 501, but you can get them from the Salvos for really cheap, and I've also seen them occasionally in bookstores cheaper than from SciTech, so don't get it from SciTech like I did. The How to Draw books are usually found at those sort of stalls that they put up in the middle of the shopping centres that are temporary stalls. You can get them there brand new, or you can get them from the second-hand stores cheaper. So we've got those there. The kids use those sometimes. They're a little bit young for those books yet, but my oldest is getting there. And that's a pen for whatever. It's like a book, and it's black, and then you write on it with this pen and it brings up colour, if that makes any sense. I don't know if it does. It's called, Colour Explosion. It's another Crayola thing. I think it's from Kmart. And it's kind of cool. You want to use it now?
Yes, please.
All right, let me get it out. One-handed. Woo. There you go. You can show us how it's done. I'll come over there in a minute. And yeah, just other crafty, not crafty, but activity books. So this is like a yucky, gross activities, book, drawing and colouring in and things like that. That was from the Scholastic Book Sale, I think. And reading and math, extra book things. Someone bought that for us, but none of my kids like Frozen, so it's just sitting there. If anyone wants it, yeah, you can have it. But yeah, all like arty sticker books and things like that, and calligraphy books, and hold on a sec, and calligraphy books and how to draw books and all that. So it's kind of like an art. I don't know what you would call it. What is this called? I don't know what they're called. File folder holders or something. Speaking of which, these are collapsible, as you can see, and they are the Teachables brand from Modern Teaching Aids in Australia. And I've got these in purple for readers boxes and white for these ones up here. And these are just all my notebooks. I am a stationery addict, and these are my notebooks for various things. Over here, I have an animal plaster set for the kids to paint with, again Kmart, and it's just sitting there so that I don't forget to use it because it's out in the open. The address book, so I don't lose it, is up nice and high. This is more like art books and activity idea books for art, and this is colouring in pages, which I think most people use for... Sorry guys, I keep getting distracted by people coming through our house and stuff like that, and I'm rushing, sorry about that. Okay, so these are colouring in pages from like Bible stories, and usually used for Sunday schools, but this was given to me by my sister-in-law to use, and they're pretty handy to have. You can get all of those from Kurong, which is only in Australia, but I'm sure there are equivalent stores everywhere else. And now here are like some spare books, lined books and things like that with dotted thirds and all of that. As we need them, I pull them out, so extra scrapbooks and some extra files and some more, what do you call these? Clipboards. This clipboard is from Kmart again. I get a lot of stuff from Kmart. Kmart is awesome. And again, these are all like books to write in, and school, I guess you could call them school books, you know what I mean? So there's not really much to see here. This is a curriculum that I'm currently using with one of my children, so the boxes are up here and the rest is over in our homeschool thingy system that I'll show you in a minute. And then over here, okay, so this is curriculum I have used last year and have tossed to the side for this year, but it's still sitting here because I'm not selling it yet, because who knows, I may use it again in the future. So it's just sitting there at the moment. And this is curriculum we are yet to use because the kids are too young for it, but I snapped it up on sale, or one we've used and I'm putting aside, but someone else is going to pick up soon. So like Alpha, my daughter's already done Matthew C. Alpha, and but my son will be using it very, very shortly. So it's just sitting there instead of going into storage, and then I have to go and fish it out. So curriculum we used last year that's not currently being used, but needs to be stored away, and curriculum that will be used shortly in the future. So yes, and then up here is just some toys that don't fit in boxes but we still use, and some lamps we haven't hung yet. And then this is our paper roll from IKEA, and I don't know what these are. These are just, this is like a little dumping ground for adults to put random things up here, so they don't belong here. They need to go and get put away in the shed and things like that, but you know, everyone has a little spot. That's our spot in here. Down here is, sorry about the focus, our musical instrument box. The guitar's there because it's a nice one and I don't want to like mess it up, but everything in there is, it can't really get ruined or already is ruined, so that's why it's in there. Doesn't matter if it gets bashed around a little bit, but we got quite a few musical instruments in there. And this toy box was mine when I was a little girl. See how it's got lumps there? That's because it used to be a teddy bear one. It was red, and then in the middle it had a teddy bear's picnic picture, and I had it since I was little, and every toy I owned except for my Barbie doll collection was in that box. So my kids are really blessed. But yeah, I painted it to match my daughter's room when she was born, so that's why it's pink and white. But now, and it had cupcakes on the front, but she ripped them off because she doesn't like anything to be too pretty. So, okay. And hey, buddy, here's another one. Hey, say hi.
Hi.
You still feeling unwell as well? You guys are troopers.
Well, I think so.
Yeah. And this is our school desk. And we do a lot here. A lot of stuff here. So, okay, what are you doing?
I'm crafting.
You're crafting. Okay, you pulled all the stuff out. No, I wanted to show them where that went, but that's okay.
Do you mind?
No, it's fine. You go ahead, have fun. So this is actually the entrance to our home. I know I said the door was over there. That's the door that we use, but when people come over, they usually come through here. And yeah, anyway, this is our school desk. It's a kidney table, I think they call it. And this one was such a blessing to us because we picked it up. Actually, my local playgroup had it sitting in the corner gathering dust, and we used to just throw our bags all over it. And then they realised they were making room for new furniture, and we're getting rid of what they weren't using. And I got a call from the lady who ran the playgroup who remembered that I homeschooled and asked if I would like to have first dibs on it. And if I did, it was only going to be $20. That's Australian dollars, by the way, so that's cheap as, because these are really, really expensive if you get them brand new. So I said, yes, please. So I got that, and we were using old school desks before this, just normal square school desks that anyone in the 80s and 90s in school would have used, if you can remember, with the trays. But we picked them up from the tip, and they were fine, and they worked really well, and we've got them in the shed just in case we want to switch back to them. But we've been using this kidney table for 2 years now, I think, and I love it. So I sit there in the middle, and then the 3 children can sit around me. It'll still have room when our 4th is bigger, because it might not look big, but it is. It fits 4 chairs around it very comfortably, so it's really nice. I can reach all of them and all their stuff all together at the same time just by sitting here. Really fantastic desk. If you can get your hands on a old kidney desk, then go for it. This is actually an old teacher's kidney desk. It came from a school, and she retired as a teacher and donated it, so it is actually was used by a teacher in a school. These chairs are from IKEA. Do not recommend them, so don't buy them. It's probably the only IKEA thing that I don't recommend. I can't remember what they're called. Let's tip it over and find out, because again, I don't take stickers off for some reason all the time. Here we go. Snil, hang on. S-N-I, it's gone all Snil, I don't know how to say that. Anyway, they're from IKEA. And the bases and the tops are purchased separately, so you can get you don't have to get one with wheels. These wheels are pretty stiff. They don't do too well. And this is lino, so it should be able to roll on it pretty easily, but it doesn't. So, you know, that's that. That's one complaint, is that the wheels don't really wheel very well, which is probably a good thing because the kids can't really roll around the room when you're trying to teach them, but it's also not a good thing because, you know, what's the point in having wheels if they don't roll? And then this chair, I would say at the moment it's okay for the kids because they're not heavy, so they're comfortable. They can put a cushion on it to make it warmer in the winter and stuff, and they do that. So it has worked for now, but for me to sit on them, I had one too. It was really, really uncomfortable for an adult if you're sitting in it for a length of time. It's just meh. Anyway, so those are the chairs that we're currently using, but I'll eventually swap them over when the kids get a bit bigger. And that's my chair. It's just an old desk chair that I picked up off Gumtree, I think, and my son has scribbled all over it. Joy. The only thing that usually sits on this desk, other than scribble that I have to gumption off every week, because of my 3-year-old, is this. And this is our little caddy. Well, this is currently what I'm using. We have gone through so many different methods of keeping our textures and stuff out. And once I tried individual caddies for each child. That was way too much maintenance. To have it all put away and everyone having equal amounts of everything was just really annoying. Then we had tins, like one tin, like with a lid, for all the textures, just laying down and just sitting in there. One tin for pencils, one tin for crayons. And then we put them in a little drawer and we just pull whatever tin out we wanted. Now that was good for very simple, like it's not hard to just put everything away in the tin that it goes in. But, you know, the kids use this every hour. They're always drawing something. So putting the tins were too much all separate. There were too many of them. They were all over the table, and there's no point putting them away because they use them all the time. So at the moment what I'm doing is using this. So it's one tin with the four Sorry, the lighting's crazy in here. There we go. 1 tin with 4 glass jars in it. That's just so that I can just pick this up when I want to clean the table, and all of it's picked up at once. But the kids can remove these jars and move them all around the table if they want to, so that's no problem. But I'm just using old jam jars and things. I really love putting things in jars for some reason, so that's what I'm using, and the kids don't mind it. So yeah, that's working really well at the moment. Do you guys like using this sort of system?
Yeah, it's quite useful.
Quite useful, yeah? And then down there I have some erasers and lead pencils and pens. I'm just laying flat, just so that the older kids can pick them out. But yeah, that's working really well at the moment. It's simple, it's compact. The kids can pull out, you know, if one wants to use textures but the other wants to use something else, they can do that. Yeah, and it's just neat and tidy, and I'm happy with it for now. So who knows, in like 2 months' time I might switch to something else, because that's me, I'm crazy. And excuse me, sweetie. This is our whiteboard and our TV. So we had this TV given to us, I believe, and we thought it would be perfect for the homeschool room because we use it for some of our lessons, like Matthew C comes with DVDs. So we use it for that. Sometimes the kids in the winter will play Wii Fit on it as a break, because if it's raining and stuff, they can't really go outside to play, but it's still keeping them physical. And what else have we got going on here? And the whiteboard. So the TV was given to us, so I can't tell you where I got that. Like, I don't know where they got it from. This is our whiteboard. It is a Penwrite, I think. Penwrite by Quartet. Anyway, you can get these from Officeworks, and I don't know where else you can get whiteboards in WA, but I know Officeworks sells them and Office Max. But we got this from the recycle centre, or as Aussies would call it, the tip. It was $5, and then when I went into Officeworks, they were $80 for the same size. So have a look at a recycle centre first before you buy. And down here, we just have, what do you call this thing? A poster with the books of the Bible on it. It's right near the desk for our morning revision, and then we've just got a very little alphabet. I like the idea of having those big colourful alphabet cards up across the top of the walls, but we don't have anywhere to put them because this was an extension built on by my hubby, and it's not like a normal roof, so like where would you can't fit the whole alphabet across here, and then it's windows. And when he was building it, he asked me how many windows I wanted, and I said I would much prefer to have lots of light coming into this room than have posters everywhere. So we came up with a different poster solution, which I will show you in just a second. So this hook here is for our posters, because I will just bring our posters over here to the whiteboard, and I have them on hooks, and I just hang the one that we need at the time to hang right here in front of the whiteboard while we need to use it, and then I put it back in its spot, which I'll show you in a minute. But first, I'll just quickly show you this. This is our, I suppose it's the equivalent of the time timer, if you've heard of it, I don't know. But it's really good to have for kids who are quite young. This one's magnetic, which is great because I can just leave it up here, or I can put it down on the table. But it's nice up here, everyone can see it. These are really good for young children who don't have much perception of time and need it during, like, okay, we're going to do English for 20 minutes today, and they don't really know what that is, but this gives them a so that they can have more of a sense of time. It's also really good for anyone with ADD or ADHD. Really, really, really helpful in order to make time make sense and make it more bearable, I guess, if you're having trouble with that. It has a little bell noise when you're done. I'm sorry, honey. There you go. Not much, just... There we go. Now, you can get a different one, that like a big one that sits on the desk, or a mini one, or one probably just slightly bigger than this, and the proper brand name is Time Timer. But this one is just called, it's actually a kitchen timer, but it's important that you have the red part so they can see the time disappear. Most timers don't have that, so you need to find one that does that. This one I got from, I believe, AliExpress again, and it was, or AliExpress, however you say it, and it was $12.99 Australian AUD, which is so cheap because the time timer is like $50 or $80, depending on what size you get, mainly because it's an American thing, so to get it over here is expensive, and it's just, yeah, it's really expensive for Aussies. So if you're looking for something like this that's affordable, get them from AliExpress for $12.99. Actually, I think you can get them off of Ali, but you can also get them from eBay, the exact same ones. And I think you can choose red, black, or this kind of teal blue color. But yeah, I just got the red one. And yeah, that's that. You might notice we don't have any accessible whiteboard markers. That's because one of my little ones is obsessed with drawing everywhere except the whiteboard with them. So they are in that basket there, which I will show you very shortly. But first I'll just swivel over here. This is my work desk. I won't show you in the drawers and all the stuff on my desk because it will take ages and this video will be really, really long. If you would like a video on my work desk and my stationery, because I collect like a lot of different stationery items and stuff, so you want to see in my drawers and all that, let me know and I'll do a different video separate. But since this is a video for our homeschool room, I won't take too long. Yeah, but we do have our laminator there and our printer, which is used for homeschool stuff, and obviously the computer is used for homeschool stuff like Art Venture. So the kids do sit here and use this as well. And down here is like a really amazingly beautiful cushion that I put my feet on that I absolutely love, and I just had to show you. And that is from Bazaar in Hillary's, I believe. There was one in Scarborough and one in what do you call that other place? Garden City, but I think both of those are closing down and they're only having like pop-up Christmas stalls from now on and keeping their one in Hillary's only. So if you want that really amazing stool thing, the foot poupée, then get it from there. And over here is so this is like all work related stuff in here, so I won't worry about showing you in there either, and printer stuff. And that's just where we're keeping our Matthew C blocks at the moment, because we haven't transferred them to a different container that's smaller, so they're still in their original box. So up there is just a safe, out of the way place to keep them. And then this is our scripture of the week or scripture of the month. You just dry erase it off because it's glass. I'll do it just to show you, see. And this is my pineapple. It has rubber bands and headphones in it. That's from Target. And this frame is probably from Red Dot, but I can't remember. Actually, no, it's not. This was a gift, this frame, and I decided to use it for that. And then we've got our family calendar there. I don't think you can see it because of all the light. Let me just, sorry, I've got a frangipani out there and lots of sunlight. Let me just pull this down so you can see a bit better. That's better. This is our family calendar, but I'm moving to digital, so there's not much on it at the moment. And this unit is another, I think I've just remembered what these are called. I think they're called Trofast units, because remember I was showing you the one for down there. I believe it's called Trofast. Yeah, and again, I think this, okay, so these ones here and that set there, we got secondhand from Gumtree for about $40, which was an absolute bargain. Came with most of the tubs as well. This is also an IKEA unit. I'm sorry, I can't remember what it's called, but it is still available, and we got that from Gumtree as well, secondhand. So in here, I keep like manipulatives, basically, or little items with little choking hazards that I don't want to leave too accessible for the younger kids. So in here, I have like teaching. So that's parentdirect.com, catalogues, and Kangaroo, and I think modern teaching aids as well. So you see that's an old one, 2017. I should probably get rid of that. But I keep the yearly catalogues in there until I have a chance to go through them and make orders if I want to. And this is math manipulatives. We don't use a lot of manipulatives, especially because we use Matthew C, which has kind of got its own with those blocks. But we do have some cool things in here. So I've got my really fun fruit counters that the kids really enjoy using. That's from Modern Teaching Aids. We've got a few different little games here. So like this one is 4 Up. We got this from the Recycle Centre. A lot of the stuff from here in this Recycle Centre, but I think I've seen this on eBay and in game stores as well. We also have, I'm just going to pull this out. Hey buddy, do you mind just keeping it down a little bit, please, honey? Okay. Thank you, darling. So fruit counters, mathematics, match it. Yeah, so that's like another puzzle game. Sorry, sorry about that. And then like a, what's this? Shapes. You like put them on and make a pattern on the picture. I'm getting messages and stuff. Oh my goodness. And then what's this? This is another one that's just like that. These again we picked up from the recycle centre, so but I'm sure you can get them online. Some learning cards that are dry erase, which were from I think Coles actually once, but you can get lots of those online as well. These are tangrams, I think they're called. Is that what they're called? Probably pretty bad if that's not what they're called. But again, the recycle centre. This is from the Salvos, but you can get these from Games World. I've seen them in, and also online. They are the Leapfrog brand. See, I got asked for $3. I'm pretty sure they're about $30, brand new. But yeah, twist and shout multiplication. This is really cool for kids who are learning their times tables. It's fun. Counters, good old counters. You can get from Modern Teaching Aids or any teaching store. I got mine from the Salvos in a little pack. And what else have we got? We got some playing cards here. These ones are from IKEA, but you can get them from like literally everywhere. I have this packet in here that the kids are not allowed to use unless I'm with them, because they have their own sets of cards, but they always lose them. So this is the one that I want to keep as a full set, so it stays in here. And these are just some learning blocks that we got from the $2 shop, which has like numbers and all sorts of pictures on them. This is, in this minion case, is fake Aussie dollars, Aussie money. So that when we're learning about money, they've got a set of coins and notes in there. And I've got various dice and hush birds. Gosh, the birds are going nuts. Hey, shush. They're going mental at each other. So different dice. So I've got like this one dice here has add, subtract, a joker thing on it. It's for like, you know, for math games, and then just normal dice and a giant dice. I got the giant one and the math one here from Wooldridge's, but you can get them from most educational stores and online as well. And we use those. And then I used, what do we got here? These are apples with numbers on the back. It's just like the kids made them. I think my oldest actually made these ones with real apples in paint, stamped them down, and we cut them out, put numbers on the back to 20, and she used them to learn to count to 20 when we did like an apple themed Adam and Eve thing ages ago. So we've kept them and we use them. Again, another Leapfrog brand game, Math Rummy. That's really fun and simple for young kids, and you can get anything Leapfrog. I'm pretty sure in WA you can only buy from Target or online, but yeah, that's if you need to find them, have a look at Target or online. And that's really pretty much it for math manipulatives. We don't have heaps. I mean, that might look like heaps to you, but when I've watched other homeschool videos, people seem to have a mountain of math manipulatives. It's wonderful, but we just don't use them. So why have them if you don't use them? So there, that's our tub of math. This is English. Can you call them English manipulatives? I don't know, English items. Again, we don't have a stack of them. Most of these are just phonics cards. Most of the phonics cards I purchased secondhand. As you can see, like the boxes aren't great, but they are complete sets. But these are the DK ones are really good, and you can get them all online. And then this one is like a sliding one. I don't know where that one came from. And these ones I got from Wooldridge's. I haven't seen them since. They're black and white ones for really, really, really little kids. Oh no, are they not the black and white ones? Clearly not. But they're for really tiny little ones. And they are really cute. But I actually don't use flashcards a whole lot. But when we do use them, they're really handy to have. And we don't use them in the old-fashioned way where you just hold it up and the kid says the word or whatever. We use them for games and do our own thing with them. That's why we have quite a few. Sorry. And yeah, so heaps, I don't know, I don't really, they're flashcards, there's not really much to see here. And big poster, ABC from Kmart as well. And we have Scrabble letters for different games that we play. And they were just, I picked up a secondhand Scrabble game set from a garage sale, and it was missing some key things, so I got it for about 20 cents, but I only wanted the letters anyway, so it didn't bother me at all, and all the letters are there. This is our popcorn game. I did put this up on my blog, but my blog's not currently running, so I can't give you a link. But yeah, it's like a DIY version of the popcorn game that you can't get in Australia. And if anybody would like the printable, let me know, and I'll try and make it accessible to you. And these are really good. Again, they're Leapfrog brand, but you put your cards in them for card games, and so little hands can have spread out cards without dropping them everywhere, like when you play fish and stuff like that, or go fish as Americans call it. Yeah, they're really handy. They just, like, the kids only have to hold this and all their cards are spread out over the top. So we got those from the Salvos, but they are Leapfrog brand if you want to find them. And we also have, you know how people have bananagrams, I think they're called? Is that what they're called? Banana something. It's like, it's a banana and then it has all letters in it. Well, this is apple letters, and it's the same kind of thing, same company who makes them. I got these from Woolridge's when they were having a massive closing down sale. I bought quite a few things from there, and they have letters inside, kind of like Scrabble letters, and you can play various games with them. Apple one does exactly the same thing as a banana, it's just an apple, so I thought it'd be different and get the apple. What else have we got? We have magnetic letters and numbers for the whiteboard to use, and they're from Kmart, and some trivia, and yeah, that's pretty much it really. And there's like a game that we made with some words and triangles and stuff, and yeah, anyway, it's just something we made. So they're the English items. Like play items. And down here I just have a few things that I don't want the little ones getting into, but my older kids can still access pretty easily. So Zoobs, we don't have a whole lot of them. Fuse beads, I think they're also called perler beads. The Zoobs are from Australian Geographic. The fuse beads are from, where are they from? They're from IKEA, I believe. Tapper shapes I got online because I couldn't find anywhere in WA. And Jenga, and which they don't actually use to play Jenga, they use for other things. Beads, like threading beads, but smaller ones for older kids. And Modular 120, I don't know why on earth it's called that, but let me show you what that is. It's those things. And they join together to build structures, and I don't know why they're called that. But yeah, you can find those online. I got those from the Salvos. And let me also show you the tapper shapes. Tapper shapes are really cool. So you get like a cork board. I have 2 cork boards, but you get a cork board, a hammer, little shapes with holes in the middle, and then inside here is these little pins, and they actually have to hammer the shapes into the cork board to create little pictures. It's really good for fine motor skills. There's the perler beads. I'm sure you know what they are, so I won't worry about going over them. Zoobs are really cool, but they're also really expensive. We got this set as a gift, and we didn't expand on that set when we realized how much they were, so we just built little Zoobs. But they're really very cool, and if our kids really, really loved them, I would have bought more, but they like them. They don't love them, so that's enough for us. And these containers, by the way, are from probably Red Dot, but where did I get them? I might have got them from Price Savers, like a $2 shop. And yeah, and they're actually for like the freezer, but they just really, they nest really nicely, so I just use them for that. So that is that unit there. And let's move over to here. So this holds all of our toy weapons. Yes, we have a billion of them. Oh my goodness, we're such bad parents, all the weapons. And this is our dress up tub. Our kids really play dress up all the time. So we have a lot of dress ups. Our kids have wild imaginations and they love being characters. So that's a big favorite pastime for them. And in here we have all of our Star Wars ships. We are a Star Wars family. I'm probably the least Star Warsy person in the world, but my hubby and my kids love Star Wars, so I have learned to like Star Wars. And this is a Kmart sensory tray that I keep out because we use so much. This is a splat mat, so this is quite good. I picked it up from Aldi recently, and yeah, it's just like a plastic mat that you can lay down on the ground when they're doing some messy play inside, and it's been pretty good. So yep. That's a camping chair, and it's there because sometimes we put it right here and two of our kids sit on it together and watch something if they can't use the lounge room. Hey guys, shush, 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 please. Please, shh. I'm looking at you, buddy. Alright, so anyway, this here is kind of, I guess, our version of the, what would you call it? The, I'm trying to remember what that system is called now. You know how people have the colourful little carts with the trays? Workbox system, I think they call it. This is, I guess, kind of our giant version of that. It's unnecessarily large, but it works really well at the moment. This IKEA system, to me, I've never really wanted them because they take up so much space, and if you just don't leave all these gaps and have such a big shell, you know, you can fit a lot more in one place if you don't do it like this, in my opinion. But because we got this and those so cheap, and it was all matchy-matched to what we already had. Hey, buddy. Thank you. Sorry, I'm just trying to get him to be quiet. Yeah, we just went for it because it was so cheap and it filled the space. And I will eventually change this so that I can fit quite a lot more here. I wouldn't recommend using this if you don't have a lot of space because, yeah, I guess I've already made my point. It's just kind of, it's unnecessary. You can have workbox systems that are like that big and fit all that in it. So yeah, I guess what I think. This here I am using for something that I haven't worked out yet, so I'm just leaving that one empty. But this is like our kind of version of the workbox. So I've just popped on here with my labeler the different subjects because sometimes we get a bit confused if people put them in the wrong spot, which is which. But it's not hard to figure out really. So yeah, so this is my oldest. It's my oldest? No, it's not. Oh, see, it's been mixed around already. But yeah, so we just basically, we put each subject in its own tub and then everything we need is ready to go, and we can just pull the tray out, and either my hubby will pull the whole tray out and take it over to the table with him. I don't like doing that because I feel like the table is too full, so I will literally just pull out the items and leave the tray behind. But yeah, either way it works really well. So everything we need for each subject is in there. So this is math, and it's got the DVD, it's got the lesson book, it's got some pencils and stuff that we use for the lessons. It's all ready to go. And then we got English. We are currently using The Good and the Beautiful, which we really love, and that has all the little mini books in it, the flashcards, the actual book itself, and also the reader that I got to go with it. So that's for English, and if we're doing anything else for English along with that, I will just toss it in the tray as well, so it's ready to go for the day. Then we've got science, which has their science books, their science journals, and their science curriculum. And then history is here. These are just a couple of things that need to be filed, but we use Story of the World, so everything we need for Story of the World is in the history tub. And then my son has exactly the same thing with his subjects, but his are a little bit different. We're not using the same curriculum for every subject for him. We do share maths and English, maths and history. Science and history, we do share lessons, which is good. And then the bottom tub just has some little extra things in there. So it's got their files, which we use for storing paper, like pictures and stuff that don't go in the actual workbooks themselves, like loose things that need, like this needs to be filed in there. So that's like for the year. They've just got a white folder, and then watercolor paper, because they're using watercolors heaps at the moment, so I've just left it there for them to come in and grab. We've got some dry erase boards which clearly need to be cleaned, which they can pick out and use. This is a music book for a co-op that we were doing in first term, but we've stopped doing it now, but it's in there because it's there for the year. And this is a book that we were reading for geography, Are We There Yet? And that's quite fun, but it's just in there because we, sorry about that, only use it for that subject.